Good morning, dear children. Hope you all are doing good. I am very curious to meet you soon. Last week we have already started the lesson, that is Mauritius. When you will be studying this lesson, you have to keep your textbook open, children. Okay? So whenever I will be telling you to mark the difficult words, you have to mark it. Understood? Before proceeding, let's recapitulate what we have studied in previous class. We came to know that R.K. Lakshman had planned to visit Mauritius. Mauritius is a travelogue, children. Here, R.K. Lakshman has written his experience about traveling. So before going to Mauritius, he planned it. He took a atlas and he went on searching it. So it is a very small island, children, very tiny island which is situated below the equator in the Indian Ocean, somewhat 4,500 kilometers away from southwest of Mumbai. So later on, after planning, author, he traveled through aircraft, he reached Mauritius, and who welcomed him there? Radha Krishna Govindan, the person from Tamil itself, he welcomed the author. The author cleared us that how many kinds of people live in Mauritius, who all are living in Mauritius. The people from different origins are found in Mauritius, children, like Africans, Chinese, Indians, Dutch, Persians, Arabs, French and English. Even though they are belonging to different origins, they live very peacefully. So this is what the speciality of Mauritius. Let's proceed. What all things author experiences and study what all things the author experiences in Mauritius. Okay. Let's start with the 5th paragraph, children. Like others of his fellow men, his ancestors were brought to the islands as slaves or later as indentured laborers to work in the sugarcane fields and factories or to cut timber in the jungle and haul it to the ports. The meaning of indentured is forced to work and the meaning of timber is wood, and haul means forcefully you have pulling out. Okay. Like others of his fellow men, this is related to the person Radha Krishna Govindan. Like him, others were also brought as slaves to this island, children. And what they were made to do? They were made to work. They were brought as laborers. They were forced to work in sugarcane fields. They were forced to work in factories. Even they were forced to cut the wood in the jungle. And some were working in the boats. So this is what the beginning days of the Mauritius. Means the question may come, a question may arise that different kinds of people are living in Mauritius, how it becomes, like Africans, Chinese, Indians, Persians. So this is what the reason behind this. Those all people were brought like slaves. As slaves they were brought, and from that day till now, they were ancestor children. Till now, the people who were brought as slaves, they were left there only in the island and their family continued. Understood? Their roots in their original homelands withered and disappeared with the passage of time. See, who were brought as slaves, that did not remain for a long time, children. It disappeared. Withered means it dried up. Now, the people who are living in Mauritius are not living as slaves. They are free now. They are living an independent life. All of them together happily came to share in the triumphs and defeats of whoever happened to be their masters among the buccaneering trinity of those days. The Dutch, the French, the English, who constantly waged battle for the possession of the island for its spices and sugar, or just for the strategic position on the maritime route to the east, conveniently placed as it was for piratical purposes. Triumphs means great victory. Then buccaneering means it is piratical. Trinity means three party. Waged means to carry on. Then strategic means it is important, children. So what the author tells here, the people who were brought as slaves, they were a part of a victory and the defeats also. They were a part of battle. And in those days, a battle was going between three parties. Who were those three parties, children? The Dutch, the French and the English. These three parties were fighting. They were having a battle among themselves. And for what purpose they were having a battle? They wanted to gain an important position in that island. And island was very prosperous. It was very prosperous in spices and sugar. And it is said that it was helpful for piratical purposes, means for robbing the robbers who roam in the oceans. For piratical purpose also, the island was very important. For this purpose, Dutch, the French and the English wanted to gain position. They wanted to conquer. They wanted to have authority in that island. So this is what we study in this paragraph, children. Let's proceed. What is there in the next paragraph? However, the Battle of 1810 ended all that in favor of the English. The French surrendered and handed over the island after extracting a favor from the conquerors that the French influence on the island be left intact. See, intact means untouched, children. The battle which was going between Dutch, French and English, it got end. Dutch was not in the battle. In 1810, the battle got end, children, and it was in favor of English. Maybe the battle was going between only two parties later on. Then the French was not so strong, so it surrendered. It handed over the island to English people in the year 1810. Then the French, they handed over the island to English people in one condition. They said that whatever they have built up the influence or whatever influence they had in that island, that should not be removed, that should not be destroyed. Means those whoever will be ruling, children, they will be having some kind of influence. They will be building monuments, then castles, or they will be having their marks. So the French people, they not wanted Englishmen to destroy all those things. So they made a condition. They made a condition that whatever influence they are having on that island should not be destroyed. It should remain untouched. The English kept their word to the last day of their rule, which ended in 1968. So the condition was accepted. The Englishmen did not destroy anything. They preserved the French influence in the island. Up to the rule, their rule got end in the year 1968. So up to the year 1968, they kept their word. They did not break the condition. And so we still have very musical but unpronounceable names like Troax Beaches, Beaubassin, Quarterbones, Cure Pipe, Rosebell and so on. These names are quite unpronounceable, children, very quite difficult. Why? Because these names have been given by French people. So these names were given for particular places. So still today, when you go and visit Mauritius, you will see the French influence has been preserved. By these names only you will come to know. Okay. The people are extremely relaxed and warm towards strangers. In the streets, in the bazaar, in restaurants, it is common to be greeted and smiled at as if you were lost friend. The another quality of Mauritius, the author explains here. What he says that the people who are residing in Mauritius are very friendly. They are very humble. They are very extremely relaxed and warm towards strangers, means they are very friendly. They not make the strangers feel like they are very strange in Mauritius. It is very quite common, children, in the streets, in the bazaar, in restaurants also. They greet the strangers as if the people are living, those strangers are living since from many years. This is the speciality of Mauritius, children. Coming from Bombay is the old name. With my precast grim expression of a city dweller, I react awkwardly at first to such spontaneity and feel ashamed that I am not even able to produce a matching smile. Now, author tells about himself. When the people of Mauritius was giving a smile to him in the streets and in bazaar and in restaurants, it was common for those Mauritius people. But it is not common to R.K. Lakshman. Why? Because he was from Mumbai. The author was hesitant to be close with others' children. Means being from a big city, he was not he was not giving an open smile. He was feeling awkward. He was feeling ashamed. Means actually he was not giving a matching smile to those Mauritius people. Only a little smile he was giving. And he was thinking why these people are giving a smile to him. Actually, it is quite common to those Mauritius people. It is quite common they give a smile to the strangers. We can call it as a speciality also. They greet them, they welcome them, and they make them feel comfortable. But here it is very new thing to author, children. Author was not giving a matching smile also to them. The same atmosphere of friendliness prevails even in Port Louis, the seat of government. See, the friendliness nature was not common only in common people, children. It was common in seat of government also. The people who were belonging to the government also, means like ministers who are having high positions, even it was very quite common to them. They were also very friendly. The cabinet ministers and others in high positions do not act as if they were born to the grace. Means, here the cabinet ministers and others who are having high positions were not taking it as granted. They were also behaving like common people only. Means they were not having proudness, or they were not showing their positions. They are just like ordinary people one bumps into an airport lounge or in a hotel lobby. See, everywhere, wherever you meet the cabinet ministers or others who are having high positions, they were behaving like common people only, like common citizens. They were not behaving like the ministers. They are unassuming, accessible, communicative, and above all, go about without a protective shield of hangers on and security men to repel casual approaches. This is another thing, children, R.K. Lakshman explains here. What he tells, here the ministers were not having any protective shield. They were not having any guard, security men around them. That's what here unassuming means unpretentious. Accessible means able to be reached. Here hangers means support. They were not having the security men around them. They were roaming freely. Quite strange, na children? I am shown a modest looking flat in a busy street lined with shops and crawling traffic. It is the residence of Prime Minister of Mauritius. Port Louis brings to my mind Joseph Conrad and Maugham. This little port town seems as if it were built at the suggestion of these writers to suit their novels and short stories. The author was very surprised and he visited the Prime Minister's residence also. The residence was situated in a busy street and the shops were lined outside the residence. It was a flat, a modest flat, he says, very simple one. So it was very quite surprise for the author. He tells that this all by seeing the Port Louis, the port town. He says that it was built on the suggestion of the writers. He says about the writer Joseph Conrad and Maugham children. Maybe they are very famous to write the novels, and to suit their novels, this the port town look means appearance has been built up. He says, it's just a joke, children. He says, merchant ships, trawlers, dingies stand anchored in the harbour with cobwebs of ropes and festoons of flags hanging from their masts. Then later, when he goes on roaming, he reaches the harbour where he sees the merchant ships. The ships were standing. The trawlers means fishermen. There were dingies means small boats. They were standing line by line in the harbour. Then with the cobwebs of ropes were tied to them. There were flowers. Then there were some flags hanging tall upright. Means while going to the harbour, there were some flags attached and the flowers attached, tied up to the boats. Grimy sailors and dock-handed means labourers, in seamen's caps, lounge on oil drums and packing cases or lean against bleak warehouse walls, smoking pipes. Then as he went on walking, he observed that there were some sailors, there were some labourers, then seamen who wore caps. They were relaxing on oil drums, children, and they had smoking pipes in their hands. Then he went on roaming. He reached the sugarcane fields. Sugarcane fields like a carpet of green cover the island on all sides as far as the eye can see, up to the foot of the distant blue mountains that ring the island, a volcanic happening of geological ages. He reached the sugarcane fields. He felt like it was looking like a green carpet. It had fully covered the island from all the sides. And when he lifted his head and he had a glance, he saw the mountains, the big mountains, children, that ring the island, means they had covered the island. Then because of volcanic happening, the mountains have been formed. These mountains do not have the traditional monotonous pyramidal shapes. Monotone means, see here, the mountains do not have traditional monotonous, means the mountains are not one by one formed one by one. They are having pyramidal shapes, children, like cube shapes we know, sorry, not cube shapes, triangle shapes. Have you seen pyramids, children? Same like pyramidal shapes, he says. Their outlines are freakish and whimsical with unexpected sweeps and perpendicular drops and pinpointed peaks, precariously doing a balancing act with boulders as big as skyscrapers. Here, the outlines were looking strange, he says. The outlines were looking fanciful and has pinpointed, the mountains were pinpointed, children, and doing a balancing act with the boulders, means there were some big stones on the high up on the mountains. Just have a look on this photo, children. You will come to know. This is what the look of the mountains. I hope you have understood the paragraphs which I have explained you today. The paragraphs, you have to read these paragraphs once again, children, and try to mark out the difficult words from the lesson. Try to try to note down the meanings of the difficult words. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in WhatsApp. We will meet you in the next session. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.